Hey, you want to stay safe on the internet, right? Luckily for you and fortunately for us, we have a fantastic sponsor of today's video that is supporting the Open Classic in Age of Empires 2 that can provide you exactly what you need. Surfshark provides a VPN, or a virtual private network, that will allow you to connect to the internet in a secure and confidential way. You can view it as a shield for your online information, where everything behind it is not easily visible or accessible to those who run into it. To give you an example of how this works, imagine you're living in the United Kingdom and you connect to a server in the United States. The VPN will send all your information with a different IP address, masking your real one, and suddenly every website you visit will see you as a visitor from the United States, which will keep your identity and location protected. And right now they're offering the amazing Age of Empires 2 community an incredible deal where you can get 83% off and 3 months for free by using the code TOC, which obviously stands for the Open Classic. And the best part is that with just a single subscription, you can connect it to unlimited amount of devices. Besides staying safe online, you can use the VPN to bypass censorship, unlock different libraries, for example for Netflix in different countries and areas, and you can even find better prices online. There are a lot of features that I haven't even mentioned yet, and you can discover those by checking out the description of the video and taking advantage of the incredible deal that is 83% off and 3 months for free with the code TOC. I would like to thank Surfshark for supporting Age of Empires 2 and the Open Classic. And now we move on to the video. Game has started, by the way, so we're gonna get in there right away. I have to do some sponsor shoutouts quickly. Let's get into the game. I'm gonna call Ornlu. Ornlu is gonna be our co-caster for the day, or for the second semifinal. We have Aztecs against Mayans as the first match. I hear thunder outside. And let's call Ornlu. Either way, let me do a quick, while we're in the Dark Age here, let's see if there's any laming going on. I don't see any laming as of yet. But, seems like both of them. There is active with a scout, so he might be looking to do something, but so far, no harm done, and we are caught up live. Either way, gotta give a big shout out to Microsoft and you guys for supporting and making the tournament happening, and then to Surfshark for coming in here at the end. See, Ornlu is now with us. Ornlu, I'm just doing a quick shout out here to Surfshark. You guys want to check out our lovely sponsor and show them that they did a good decision in supporting Age of Empires 2. Make sure to type Surfshark in chat and check out the amazing deal of 83% off and 3 months for free. One subscription alone also gives you a unlimited amount of installs on all your devices. So you can install it on every device, browser, console, whatever allows you to install Surfshark. Besides that, you can use the virtual private network obviously to stay safe online and protect and mask your information from websites you visit, and even use the Surfshark to get better prices online. You can unlock different Netflix libraries. They also have a 24/7 live customer support and a bunch of other features. So if you are interested in checking them out, !Surfshark. We already have a lot of people that's saying Surfshark are doing a really good job for them. See Gluttony in chat here saying that. So I'd recommend you guys, if you're looking for VPN, check them out. They are supporting Age of Empires. They've supported a couple of streams. They're supporting now a tournament as well. Great to have them on board. And hello, Mr. Ornlu. How's it going?
I am doing great. That last series was sick. Unfortunate a little bit for your teammate there, but yeah, that was a great set.
Indeed.
One of many.
What do you think where Tato went wrong in the last game?
He hit the button. He didn't need to hit the button.
Okay. I think the button hit was fine. I think the timing of the button hit was wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I can see that.
The key thing is obviously having siege. If you have 8 bomber cannons and hit the button, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you did a beautiful job of just prioritizing sniping the siege over everything else.
Yeah, indeed. Either way, we have a game here. We're in the second semifinal of the Open Classic. It's JorDan against Liereyy. JorDan in the blue color playing as the Aztecs. Liereyy in the green color playing as the Mayans. And both of them are building up barracks as we speak. And it looks like we're going to have quite the mirror opening here for both players so far.
Oh yeah, it is a Meso War nothing too surprising. I think we've seen Aztecs, Mayans, Chinese in almost every set on Arabia. But honestly, we still have had so many great games, and haven't seen too many of the Meso Wars themselves. Obviously, it's a classic matchup, but how do you think the dynamics work with it these days? Like, which Civ do you favor?
So I always would say Aztecs are slightly better. I also think Aztecs in late game. I don't know how the recent change to the Mayan skirmisher affects the game, but atlatl skirms for late game with Aztecs is just incredibly powerful. And you also, I think Aztecs do have a better early game with better farming. Even though Mayans have long less resources, you still feel like Aztecs might have a slight edge, but it's very slight. So both civs are super strong. Both civs have really good chances of winning. And Mayans, a lot of people pick Mayans as a countermeasure to Aztecs because they don't want to have other civs when they play against Aztecs, because the Eagle Snowball has a tendency to be very strong.
Eagles are scary. I mean, yes. I think you know that.
I have experienced that myself, yes.
Oh, feels bad, man. I still do like Mayans a lot in like late Castle Age, maybe early Imperial Age. Because if you can get plumes up and running, Aztecs are going to struggle to deal with that unless you can get a bunch of atlatl skirms. But still, overall, I like Aztecs a lot. Ooh, a little bit of a micro fight here. And Liereyy does lose one militia.
JorDan with an amazing engagement so far initially. He didn't even need to add a fourth militia, but he already took a good trade. He's got the edge now. And he's sending a villager forward to make a ranged right off the bat. So he went for the fast fuel edge follow-up as well. And he's doing man-at-arms, just ignoring the militia, going forward. He knows he's walled on the left side, except behind the forest. So the militia from Liereyy cannot really do much. So JorDan just wants to go inside Lierey's base, see if he can get anything done there. But it looks like Liereyy is also getting his walls nicely up. And Liereyy going for the far, far, far back gold, which means he's going to have to wall a big portion of the map. And there might be pressure coming in here really fast. Well, Liereyy may have wanted to do a Drush Fast Castle, but probably changed his mind.
Well, Drush Fast Castle is seems always pretty scary in a Meso War. A villager a little bit on the outside. Do you think the Men-at-Arms choice was correct from JorDan? Because he's not able to get double bit axe just yet, which is one of the advantages from getting to Feudal Age more quickly. And I feel like, I mean, Liereyy sees this coming from a mile away, so I feel like he should have known that he was going to be walled.
Yeah, so what JorDan could have done is just wait with Men-at-Arms, go forward with the Eagle, see if there is an entrance, and then done it afterwards. Doing it blindly is potentially not the best move, but then again, he could be hitting palisade walls. They go down super fast in the Dark Age. I'm not sure. Okay, he wants to save the skirmish that is coming forward. And he's getting a good engagement here. Liereyy, a little bit sloppy there, taking some damage on the Eagle. And JorDan should now ignore this and make sure he goes and starts hitting walls or houses of Liereyy just to put the pressure. Liereyy now doing an archery range forward as well. And we'll see. We're going to see.
JorDan doing villagers forward.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sneaky vills on the top. Oh, this might be a misplay. JorDan might have expected a Drush Fast Castle here from Liereyy. But Liereyy is actually going for the Feudal Age play, so this forward could potentially backfire here for JorDan if he's not careful.
Yeah, and it's not like Lierey's even going for the, I guess, slightly greedier play of the archery range plus blacksmith, trying to get fletching quickly. Like, Liereyy is all about just making as many archers as possible. It's something that he loves doing, and this is going to be no exception. Tower should be missed by Liereyy, I think.
What?
Yeah.
That tower is actually fantastic. JorDan has scouted Lierey's map, and he sees the wood lines. He knows Liereyy is one lumber camp because no wood has been taken on the bottom side, and the front wood lines obviously is not being taken either. So this tower is actually going to idle all of Lierey's trees and wood income for the time being, and that is a very, very nice move here for JorDan.
Oh yeah, JorDan, he needs to make something aggressive happen, because even if Lierey's not going for the fast castle right away, if you look at his bank, he's got around 650 food there, so he's going to be clicking up fairly soon.
Yeah.
And if you're getting to Castle Age well ahead of your opponent, it can be really hard to hold on. So JorDan, nice move here, but he still needs to get a little bit more done, because Lierey's still going to be clicking up pretty soon.
But what this tower did now as well is, again, as like the tower did take him off wood, obviously, so Liereyy will have to now go to another wood line, make a lumber camp, and he needs to collect 150 wood to make a blacksmith. So indirectly, this has actually slowed down Lierey's Castle Age.
Yes, it has. And of course, without wood, you can't add more farms. You can't even really add in more archers. And so that was definitely a really big deal that JorDan did. And even very diligent about walling in the tower completely, something that I always want to see players do, because it's not very resource intensive and can, really make your threat a lot greater.
Yeah.
And behind this, JorDan, using the fact that he's keeping Liereyy in his base, going to be walling up himself, nice and comfy cozy, getting a market, and his eco is getting pretty well set up.
Yeah, Liereyy finally being able to do the blacksmith now, but look, he's got 2 vills in the queue and he has almost 800 food in the bank, so this obviously slowed down his cast stage a little bit, but he's still going to get a very healthy cast stage, and now it's up to JorDan to decide how he wants to approach this. He has 3 skirms in the archery range at the moment, doing a market as well, so he's probably going to use the market a bit to get a faster cast stage time. Question now would be, is JorDan planning to play full eagles, or maybe just skirmishers to fend this off?
Well, it seems pretty clear that Liereyy wants to be going for archers. I kind of like what he's doing with the blacksmith and the walls in front of it, just really making sure that it's going to be hard for JorDan to range his wood line with archers, or maybe even another tower or something like that, because Liereyy isn't really having any sort of back wood line to fall back to. That said, I agree that, okay, so Lierey's, his game plan's a lot more clear than JorDan, and of course we have the tactical pause.
Yeah, JorDan did finish the market now. Thus, he's going to probably buy 100 food, maybe even 200, sell 100 wood, and then be clicking up. So it's not going to be that big of a time window for Liereyy to utilize this earlier cast stage. But I still am not 100% sure what exactly JorDan is going to commit on regarding military units. He still has some skirms in the bank. He could easily go eagles. And JorDan is victorious. So 1-0 for JorDan here. The tower was too much for Liereyy to handle. And we're going to go back.
Feels bad, man.
So, time to figure out what happened. Very likely that one of them crashed or dropped. I saw JorDan's villages on the market were idle. I wonder if JorDan maybe dropped or crashed here.
Unfortunately, we have seen it a few times this weekend where not only will a drop happen, but there's like around a minute of idle time before the drop. So it's like even if you wanted to restore the wreck, it's kind of rough, because then it's like one player would just have like a minute idle time in early game, and that's never ideal.
Yeah, so it seems like Liereyy is the one who either dropped or crashed. So you have to wait for the updates from the admin on how to approach this. The issue with the drops or crashes is that it takes like 30-40 seconds before the other player is told, which means the other player plays 40-30 seconds before you get a save file, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even think JorDan got a save file here. I think, if I understand correctly, it just said you are victorious, and there was no save file. So there's a big chance we just have to replay from scratch, which would obviously be quite awful, but we'll have to wait and see what Krajini and the admins say here. Admin, speaking of admin, Ornder, you're one of the admins, so...
I am one of the admins.
What's the decision here?
Yeah. I think if they have a save, then like my call would be, depends on how much idle time there was. I wasn't really paying attention, but yeah, if they have a lot of idle time, then yeah, just restart the game. I don't think anyone was in like a massive advantage.
Yeah, I want to ask something as well. Obviously I didn't have any say in the seedings or anything admin related for competitive integrity's sake, but looking at the seedings, what exactly was used again to seed players?
Ladder rating.
Ladder rating.
So I believe it was a combination of current and highest.
Okay, gotcha.
Nothing too wild. But when you're doing a massive bracket like the Open Classic, then you kind of need to have something that's very sort of straightforward and can apply to everybody.
Yeah, but we probably have to look into, like, Liereyy being seed 16 initially is probably should never really be the case, right? Liereyy and Hera could have faced in round of 16 if Hera made it. So that would
Liereyy was seed 16?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he ended up being seed 15, but he was seed 16.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. Well, he's a top 16 player, yeah, by all means, but you feel like Liereyy should be slightly higher.
It's just like the problem is you can't really... Oh, are we good?
Seems like we are back in. Not mistaken. Let's see. Hopefully I got the restore at the right time. And yeah, looks like we didn't miss much, so we can play all normally from here. Yeah, I don't think anything was missed, so We just have to speed up here, and we're pretty much back into the game. Are you caught up as well, Ornlu?
Well, yeah, I was thrown off a bit because the lobby says doubt versus Liereyy.
What?
And
Okay.
I know, you Gamer Legion guys are all quite similar, but I'm pretty sure that series was yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So, Liereyy mixed in a couple of eagles as well into his armor composition as he moves out. So he has crossbow, bot counter coming in, and the eagles coming forward. JorDan's still 40 seconds away from the castle edge, has dropped 3 barracks, and will start massing those eagle warriors. I think JorDan's food economy is a little bit suspect, though. He only has 9 on food right now. And that might not be enough to get those crucial upgrades he needs, nor the armor upgrades that he needs as well. JorDan now forced to do a tower as well, defensively, as he is being pressured here by Lierey's crossbows, and JorDan just has to do everything he can to buy time.
Yeah, I mean, the timing window for Liereyy, like you said, is pretty small, but it exists, and Liereyy is certainly somebody who can make the best of it. First villager kill right there onto the farm by Liereyy. And he can camp underneath the tower if he wants, but that is a little bit risky depending on how many Eagle Warriors that JorDan has. But as you're saying, JorDan just doesn't have the food economy for all of those upgrades. And
What is JorDan
what are
doing?
those villagers doing?
I guess he jumped out because he wanted to wall around it, but he must have had some hotkey issues there, clicking the wrong things. And JorDan kind of falling apart here, losing 4 villagers he has lost. No, yeah, 4 villagers down, and the Eagle upgrades aren't there. Honestly, Ornlu, this game seems over.
I would agree, especially because it says game over.
Yeah. Man, that's how quick a faster castle edge timing can punish you. And
This is like how I lose all the time.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I want to play a nice game of Age of Empires, and then they're like a minute faster the Castle Age, and they have crossbowmen in my base, and then I'm sad.
And this is such a game where you think about it and you're like, where did JorDan go wrong? And then it's just like, he didn't really do that many wrong things. But the only thing questionable was maybe actually researching my arms. The forward tower could have maybe been avoided.
He made the 4th militia.
The 4th militia could have been avoided. All these things, right? But yeah, Liereyy just punishing super hard as soon as those crossbow got in. And some panic there for JorDan as well with releasing the villagers, not walling, just starting to repair the tower. And it all kind of fell apart really fast there for JorDan. And Liereyy takes a very, very quick 1-0.
Indeed, that's quite a quick and dirty game right there. But we'll see what JorDan is going to be doing for his home map, which I have written down somewhere. It is going to be, oh yeah, it's Clown City with JorDan Arena and Hideout.
And yeah, I want to look at the civs. I was looking at the civs and I was trying to figure out exactly where Liereyy wants to play. So Liereyy has Teutons, which could be Hideout or Arena. And he also has Britons, which also could be Hideout or Arena. I think those 2 civs are not locked on, as in terms of what he will use on those 2 maps. I'm not 100% sure which he will use on what.
Yeah. Chinese probably for Regicide Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe JorDan has Goths to like try and go for like a counter against Chinese, but then that's why Liereyy has Vikings, and then there's going to be that sort of bind game. Malay seems to be very standard for Arena, and then Turks, Lithuanians, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Turks is also a really good late game civ these days. So, like going Turks even on Regicide Fortress might seem weird. If Liereyy is trying to go counter with Vikings, then JorDan could try to be clever here again. And also Burgundians could also be ridiculously strong on Regicide Fortress. So that's the thing. There's going to be a lot of mind games here as well, included in terms of how they approach it. But yeah, JorDan going for the clown approach. Either Hideout or Arena will be coming up next. And Malay Burgundians very likely will use those 2 civs on those 2 maps. But the question again is, where will he use what?
Exactly. We've been seeing a ton of Malay versus Burgundians on Arena, so at least JorDan has both those civs, so we can't see that matchup again. I think the only thing that's like a solid lock is Lithuanians versus Japanese on Atacama. But and everything else, like you're saying, it's just a matter of what you want to pick where.
Yeah. And especially Regicide Fortress is where the mind games are going to be in, right? Chinese instantly picked by Liereyy for Fortress, very likely. And JorDan, he didn't, like Burgundians could be Fortress. But yeah, Goth, if he goes for Goth, and then Liereyy just goes Vikings, and that's Suddenly a very rough situation for our Jordy boy. Arena is game 2 confirmed.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Did they start?
They haven't started yet, but it's confirmed.
Oh, okay. So, which of these civs do you like most for Arena? If only you had a YouTube video on that.
I wish. Well, you know me, I think Malay are a pretty decent civilization for Arena, but I must admit I need to play more with Burgundians, because the way I see Burgundians play out now, when you also have the access to Flemish Revolution, makes me think Burgundians could be the very best Arena civ even.
I think they're very clearly S tier.
Yes.
Like when we made that Arena video, it was like you have everyone picking like 5 out of their seven civs that were like their top 5, and I think you just have to add Burgundians to that list, like at a minimum. Sicilians are actually pretty good too on Arena, but not quite, you know, that highest level. But yeah, Burgundians are just sick. Their eco is great. They have tons of options, and then they have the button.
JorDan, for example, got wrecked by Sicilians with Malay even. Those sergeants just caught him so off guard with their 8 pierce armor, and when JorDan went Arbalest, he just tickled them, and he just got stomped by running on Arena with Sicilians.
Oh yeah,
which is quite shocking to a lot of people.
I know, like you know, Civ's good. People, you know, they have the Civ bad in their mind because the Civ was bad at release, but you know, they've gotten some buffs here and there, and they ain't bad.
Indeed, and we have Burgundians against Britons here, which is kind of expected. I was thinking Liereyy probably would use Britons here, and then Teutons for hideout, so it's following the pattern I would expect so far.
Yep. And this is a matchup I think I've seen once this tournament. All the games are kind of a blur. But we will have JorDan over here in the east of the map as the blue Burgundians, and to the west in the green as the Britons will be Liereyy. Viper, what do you think of Arena here in this particular version that we have from Crazini? Seems very sort of standard.
Yeah, 2 golds on the inside, 1 stone on the inside. Liereyy's golds both in the back. That's very nice for him, but his main stone is 4. But then again, you don't feel like Britons will be under pressure early game anyway, so I don't think that's going to matter too much. Again, I think this is similar to the game with Taro. We don't know exactly what will happen or how they're going to approach it. Very likely both will try to fight for the relics somehow. JorDan will probably go stable, similar to how Taro just did. And Liereyy could go stable, could go archery range, and he will very likely fight for the relics as well. Again, this game will very much depend on how JorDan decides to utilize the civilization. Will he go full ham and just go 200 villagers Flemish Revolution? Will he play a standard game and then transition to Flemish Revolution? Will he even use Flemish Revolution? These are all the questions that we need to ask ourselves. And JorDan already did double bit X, so he has that juicy extra wood income in the Dark Age.
Oh yeah, so feels good, man. Just getting those super early eco upgrades. It's like, oh hey, Celts, nice 15% faster lumberjacks. Well, I got 20%. Ha! That's a direct quote from the Civ, by the way.
Oh, nice. Again, with we don't have Malay here now, so JorDan definitely should get off to a better economy here initially compared to Britons. Although Britons hitting Castle Age, those cheap town centers help a lot, and you might be able to catch up on at least on village count. But economy and resources collected should be quite in favor of JorDan for the first stage of the game. How do you expect Liereyy to approach this, being Britons?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like... I mean, Britons, it's very intuitive what you want to do with them. I mean, they're an archer civ, they've got the cheap town centers. You have the choice between going with early crossbowmen or scouts. Scouts feels a bit safer, less risky, just because there's less of an investment, but eventually you're going to get to Imperial Age, you're going to go for archers and do all that stuff. And I do have to say that I like archer civs versus Burgundians in general, just because you miss +4 defense on your skirms, you miss bloodlines for your paladins, so you're just a little bit more vulnerable to ranged units.
But there's Flemish Revolution.
I don't like Flemish Revolution against archer civs. I feel like I see it fail so much more often than I see it succeed.
Because they never make siege.
Well,
Like,
maybe.
imagine Taro did last game have 8 bomber cannons behind Flemish Revolution. Imagine. How does that play out?
Well, it's like, how do you get to 8 bombard cannons though if you're
By not
constantly fighting?
by
You're
not
trading against Yo,
gifting
right?
by not gifting 3 bomber cannons for free.
Okay,
you
well that's always a good idea.
I mean, he can just trade skirms and keep the game stalemated while he builds up bomber cannon numbers, right? And then you hit the button, you have 180 military, 190 military, and 8 bomber cannons. Castles disappear, he cannot fight your army, and the base disappears. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that could be the case. That's it's like one of those situations where you just are so reliant on your castles to defend because the Flemish militia still just get massacred by arrow fire of any kind. So you need to have that siege. And Burgundian bombard cannons are even really good, even getting essentially a little bit better version of siege engineers just inherent in the unit.
Indeed, both going to the fuel age at exactly the same time here with the same population. Don't see a barracks yet for either player, but I'm expecting a barracks to be dropped for both players. Liereyy, wonder if he will notice, but he's currently housed if he wants to make more villagers. So he will have to drop a house before hitting the fuel age, and that's something you easily forget when you're just in your flow, managing economy, micromanaging everything, like putting in the right sheep, bringing the sheep in the town center, and there is anyone village now. I think he will. Either that could be a barracks though. He might not really.
Oh.
Okay, it's a house.
Okay, it's a house.
Good call, Liereyy. JorDan not dropping a barracks yet either. Maybe JorDan is just gonna go full boom into Flemish. I kind of want to see
That
it.
could be the case. But as Burgundians, I feel like one of the big reasons that Flemish Revolution can be so deadly is that you have the extra food generation from relics, as well as potentially Burgundian vineyards, which is also, I think, a huge mistake from Tato, not getting that upgrade like way early on. It could have given him like 2 relics extra worth of gold just for free.
There was one phase in the game where he had 4,000 food in the bank as well.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect time.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but still, like, having all of that free extra resource income makes the transition back to economy after you hit the button to be much smoother. And just getting the relics is just an important part of that.
Liereyy going market blacksmith. Not showing any signs of fighting for the relics. That's surprising to me. But I mean, Liereyy isn't an arena clown. So not overly surprising. But at the same time, meta on arena these days is kind of you always fight for the relics. And the guy who doesn't tends to lose.
It's just players have gotten so good at, like, the dynamic used to be that, okay, if you're trying to go for relics, then your economy won't be as good as the guy who just goes for a straight boom. But now these days people are just like, okay, I'm going to go for scouts, contest relics, and then still have a super good economy behind it, so that, you know, potentially being 5 villagers ahead isn't going to compensate for just no map control and no relics.
JorDan with not the smoothest build here by the looks of things. Struggling to click up. Just now managed to collect 800 food and had to queue up 2 more villagers than he had originally anticipated. So he probably did not make enough farms and transition the economy early enough considering the economy upgrades he did in the Dark Age. Because that kind of tends to mess with your build that you're used to. If you're following a straight build that you're normally doing, then you need to add more farms with Civ like Burgundians because you have invested extra food into those technologies in the Dark Age.
Yeah, exactly. You do, as Burgundians, you tend to either need to add more farms quicker, or you just click up like a villager later or something like that. Yeah. It's like an easy adjustment to make, but it's something that you need to be very conscientious of, lest you have to have 10 seconds idle TC time. But still, JorDan grabbing bowsaw, grabbing heavy plow, doing all the good stuff there, and we'll be able to add in scouts quite soon.
Yeah, I hope JorDan stops at 2 scouts now. By the way, I'm biased, just so you know.
Really?
Towards JorDan. Yep, indeed. I hope JorDan stops now at 2 scouts and doesn't overinvest. Like sometimes people will make 2, 3, 4 scouts before even knowing if the opponent is even making anything. And that's a massive investment. So I'd like to see that JorDan is currently stopping at 2 scouts and just keeping the controller, and Liereyy going for the straight 4 TZ boom. Buying 100 stone. And with the food in the bank he has, he's gonna be able to produce vills all the time. Unless he does heavy plow and bowsaw. So
well, yeah. It's whenever you beat a player in this event, you have to absorb their power, and Liereyy clearly absorbing the power of doubt after their narrow win yesterday. Just instantly going for TCs without a care in the world. Who needs relics?
Indeed. And we see JorDan. I would have liked to see JorDan even delay the monastery here, do a second TC first and then the monastery, based on how this game is playing out. But obviously it's easy to say because I see everything. I know Liereyy is not committing on the middle. JorDan might want to play it safe and just get those relics in ASAP. But I personally think a third TC first and then a monastery would have made more sense here. JorDan has so much food in the bank, even doing husbandry here. JorDan playing it overly cautious regarding the... Yeah, seems overly... preemptive, you can say.
Yeah, I agree. Because for JorDan right now, he just needs, you know, the one extra scout, all that you need, just being able to keep tabs on both gates at once. And then just keep making some monks, gather all your relics, and then make sure you put the relics in a back monastery, something that I always encourage people to do, especially if you have the map control and you're Burgundians and you're going to have, you know, 5 relics. Like, you know, we think of the Aztec bonus as super insane, with relics getting the 33% extra gold income. Burgundians get plus 100% income overall. It's just, you know, half of it's food.
Food is a little slightly less valuable than gold, though, to be fair. But,
exactly. So it's like, it's not like it's, you know, it's strictly speaking better than Aztecs, but in terms of just sheer value, it's really good.
Yeah. Liereyy actually sneaking his scout out. Very nicely done. So even if JorDan tries to get a relic down there, it's a big chance Liereyy would be there to snatch up a monk there, and that could be massive value for his scout there. And you can see already the villager count, 10 villagers advantage for Liereyy here, but JorDan did obviously have the economy upgrade slightly faster, so there is that, but Lierey's villager numbers are just going to get out of control here. And Liereyy, he's going for the whole power play approach where you just boom it out and you try to kill your opponent before he even gets up and running. So Liereyy does not want this game to last 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or 1 hour. He wants this game to last 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive, right? That the more aggressive play is the one where you take 0 map control and just plop down 3 town centers, but it's about hitting that timing, where you have that better economy, you get the better Imperial Age time, and just have that army in early imp so much faster. And again, especially because Burgundians could be struggling a little bit against strong archer civs. But forward siege workshop from JorDan, he's the one who wants to go aggressive.
So I see a body there. I'm not sure what was killed. Was that a monk?
There was a monk killed outside of the base of JorDan by Liereyy scout.
So Liereyy did already pick up one monk. Very nicely done. And yeah, there's a siege workshop. I like that from JorDan. It's not going to be affecting his boom in any way, and just getting that soft pressure going. Maybe you can stop the stone income a little bit. It's actually perfect that he pressures the stone. That's the only stone income Liereyy has, obviously, and Liereyy would like to get stone to be able to drop a castle. And if JorDan can deny that, that would be amazing. But JorDan now, 16 villagers behind. That number is starting to get a lot.
Yeah, the actual boom here of Liereyy is quite fantastic, although JorDan adds the 4th TC of his own. He only got 17 seconds idle TC time, and that means only 7 seconds once Castle Age came in, so... You know, very clean macro here for JorDan. And he's still running around with all these units, making sure he's picking up all of these relics. And yeah, I like the idea of pressuring the stone, because if Liereyy is not able to drop a castle, then JorDan actually could just completely pressure him and kill him in early imp.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. If Liereyy gets a castle up anywhere, or even forward, that's when the control for Liereyy really sets in. But now... Yeah, got it. And now, the fact that Liereyy cannot take stone means that Liereyy has to invest in the castle age if he wants to be able to get back on that stone. So he will either have to do his siege himself, or potentially drop a barracks and some ranges to get some crossbows out on the map. And JorDan nicely also making an outpost. He will be able to start, or keep tabs if there is manganese or anything coming in from Liereyy here. I really like that move from JorDan, but Liereyy buying the stone he needs, and will drop at the castle next to his town center. JorDan, target fire! Target fire now! Okay, was almost close enough.
No Tim Castle today.
Indeed. So a castle coming from Liereyy will secure him the base, and yeah, we're gonna JorDan's gonna switch an angle, try to pressure somewhere else, but yeah, feels like Liereyy is pretty safe right now.
Yeah, I like this decision from Liereyy to just buy the castle instead of trying to invest into mangonels or crossbowmen or something like that, because considering all of those other investments you'd have to make, just buying a little bit of stone at the market is much faster and cheaper. And you can just get your villagers back to work quite comfortably, and then you can go maybe for a forward castle as your second castle, and you can start training some longbowmen. There we go.
Indeed. Only I need to be right back just 1 minute. Just keep casting. I have the whole map visible.
Okay. Well, now I am securing the control of the tournament. Bwahahaha. Anyway, guys, JorDan trying to, loop around Lierey's base, attack where the castle isn't, because the castle having to be placed right by the stone means that it doesn't really cover the whole front of his base. And yeah, JorDan gonna grab that 5th relic right now. Liereyy scout? Yeah, Liereyy lost a scout, guys. You think I don't have Viper's chat open? Botkin coming in here for Liereyy. He's getting pretty close to Imperial Age, but look at this, guys. JorDan able to click up even faster. That's because he didn't invest all that much into scouts. Just the one extra scout, husbandry. JorDan's the one with the forward castle. And I honestly like this for JorDan.
And we're back. Yeah,
JorDan's going to be faster up to Imp Viper.
Oh yeah, by quite a bit as well here. Liereyy maybe mistimed his gold income a little bit. He already has over 100 vills and he still hasn't clicked up. That is quite strange. That means by the time he hits Imp, he's going to have probably 120, 130 villagers. And that's quite a lot here. And yeah, JorDan going for the Paladin play as well. So if Liereyy does not open directly with Halberdier, JorDan could potentially just steamroll Liereyy here.
I mean, a wise man once said that, Burgundians probably just going Cavalier.
So he should be making camels, right?
Yeah.
Liereyy has no map control, so he has no vision. He doesn't know exactly what's coming, but now he could... Also, if he clicks that scout, he sees armor, though. So that's kind of a little bit of a tell that there might be Cavalier play happening. And Castle will give JorDan some map control, so he could potentially hide the Paladin a little bit longer. Also, we need JorDan to have a university, which he does. So chemistry to get bomber cannons. Oh, Liereyy might run into some manganese there. JorDan with the target fire. Oh, nice shot. Picking up 4 longbowmen with that shows JorDan micro on point. And Liereyy now going for another castle himself. But JorDan, yeah, will be up a lot faster. And get those trebuchets out faster. But I still would prefer if he goes for bomber cannons here.
Yeah, I mean, bombard cannons are usually really scary to make against Britons just because their archers can snipe them so easily. Ooh, actually, Liereyy canceling the castle. Sees his opponent gets to Imperial Age faster, and he's like, well, I don't want this castle to just be destroyed instantly, especially because when, his unit of choice is the longbowman, so if he loses the castles, he gets no production for his army, and then he's very sad. So castle much more defensively placed, but he's still going to need to weather the storm until he can get his own upgrades going.
But this is still so crazy. Liereyy is not even Imp, and JorDan has only 2 minutes left to Paladin. That is so sick. And Liereyy is not
5 relics with Burgundians. Like,
yeah,
you got
and
all
5
the
relics.
gold.
And adding more TCs, and like he's gonna have last armor upgrade. He's gonna have Paladin before Liereyy even has. Liereyy isn't even adding barracks. He only has 1 barracks. He hasn't even made upgrades, and he's just playing full longbows at the moment. Chemistry, bracer. You know what? The Paladin play of JorDan here could easily snowball out of control for Liereyy.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like Lierey's setting himself up for like a super long game where he just hangs in here with longbowmen and maybe werewolf trebs, or I guess onagers. But
you know what? Liereyy is playing to counter Flemish militia.
Oh, maybe. But
that's why onager is coming in.
You can't just blindly expect your opponent to go for Flemish militia.
Well, now he sees it, obviously. Now he's switching into barracks here, because now he knows, oh, he's just going Paladin. And 30 seconds left for Paladin to come in. JorDan does have less armor. I think now's the time where he could jump and maybe catch those longbows. Yeah, kind of gifting a trebuchet for free here as well. I don't know what it is, but with the GL members, but apparently we keep gifting Siege for free these days on Arena. Both this game and last game. JorDan doing armor and arson as well, so he's already setting up for the Flemish. He needs to keep massing villagers though if he's actually gonna go for the Flemish Revolution.
Yeah, you usually want at least around like 150 or so. And yeah, like I said, I think I'm not sure if it was Liereyy I was casting earlier, but I remember seeing something like this. I think it might have been the show match against MBL where it just went for Werewolf super quickly. And just really playing this like very campy style. And it, like, Britons are good at that. Like, that's something they do well. But, I mean, especially in the context of your opponent having all the map control in the world, having 5 relics, and it just feels like this is such a huge uphill battle, even on a map with 0 elevation.
Liereyy gets the wall off just in time, but the Paladin still get in, and Elite Longbowman is about to kick perfect timing as well. And JorDan is about to be under 2 castles at least. potentially even 3 castles as soon as Liereyy makes another defensive castle. But you know what? JorDan doesn't have to do Flemish here. What he's doing now is great. It's going to force Lierey's army to go back and he can start targeting down the castle again. But as you mentioned, Liereyy does have Warwolf now, so those trebuchets are going to start taking really good trades. But JorDan countering that with bomber cannons, and considering the fact that JorDan has 5 relics, I would say JorDan should never do Flemish Revolution unless he actually has to in this case.
Yeah, 100% agree. This is a somewhat similar situation to the last game with Tato versus Yo, but in this case, the Burgundian player is even more ahead, and you can just keep making units. Burgundians can actually have a pretty diverse army in late game. Bombard cannons and trebuchets both pushing right now. Paladins running absolutely everywhere in the economy of Liereyy. This is just a disaster game for him.
Yeah, Liereyy didn't have ballistics as well until just now, a couple of seconds ago. So if you look at the economy of Liereyy now, as a worker efficiency is down to percentages in the 50s and going down. And Paladin's still buying so much time. JorDan again finishing the armor upgrade for infantry, so Flemish Revolution might still be on his mind. And JorDan has the siege. I think Flemish Revolution could be a game-winning move for JorDan right now. He has 154 villagers. I think JorDan should go Flemish right now and win the game. It might sound weird, but seeing everything, I don't see a world where Liereyy holds Flemish Revolution right now. Unless JorDan goes now with his trebs and wastes them. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is GL. You got to be careful. I actually think maybe it's just because I'm a cautious cookie, but I feel like Flemish is still too risky. Like, the Warwolf trebs will kill the Burgundian trebs, and then you're just relying on Briton longbowmen not sniping bombard cannons.
That's the thing, if the trebs of Liereyy sieges up and then there's 150 military coming in through your walls, those trebs won't last long. So sure, they will kill it, but at the same time, yeah. JorDan needs to get some good hits there with the bomber cannon. He needs to get the right target fires. Liereyy, very brave microing here against 4 bomber cannons of the Burgundians. Could easily take some big hits there, but another castle goes down. This is a great trade for JorDan. Keep in mind, JorDan has all the 5 relics and the full map control. So even losing 4 trebs for 1 castle is actually worth it for JorDan in the current scenario.
Especially in the context that Liereyy is, again, going for longbowmen.
Look at JorDan's villager count. It's happening! It's happening! Flemish is coming!
It's the button. He hit the button.
And you know what? When you hit the button
Liereyy
as well...
just deletes all these walls right now.
Oh, worst timing ever! JorDan, send your
army! As much
army!
of a choke point as possible. That's what Mr. Yo was able to do. And now it's just a big ol' open welcome to the base of Liereyy, Flemish militia.
JorDan has 6 bomber cannons, 2 is in production as well. The Flemish militia are coming across now with full upgrades. And JorDan, everything JorDan needs to do is take down the last castle of Liereyy, and then JorDan should have very few ways to lose this game. And looking fantastic for him so far. He needs to kick off that reboom as well. Oh, 1 bomber cannon down, and a nice snipe by Liereyy, but soon Lierey's longbowmen will be chased all the way back into his base, and then the bomber cannons will have free reign across all these production buildings as Liereyy is dropping another castle in his base.
Yeah, but if this was the 3rd castle for Liereyy, maybe he'd have a chance, but I mean, it's 30 military versus 175. That's rough. Now, JorDan even coming in with the get out of my game castle. He just, all the map control, all the relics, and I just can't really agree with how Liereyy just approached this game.
Yeah. Well, Liereyy is not a clown, right? He might not know the ways of the clown. And yeah, JorDan on top of the castles, he can raid and kill villas on the bottom side. And he's on top of the longbows as well. Liereyy will have to micro his longbows, but the fire rate of the longbows isn't great either. And Lierey's just losing every longbow, and JorDan will continue straight through. He'll take out the castles, take out the town centers. He's also going to kill all the villagers. And the trebuchets are trying to siege up, but that's JorDan can just kill the trebs now. He has so many units, he doesn't care. And behind this, JorDan is also relooming already back to 30 villagers.
Yep. Not a care in the world, and there is going to be JorDan tying up the series 1 apiece. We've got a series on our hands.
Indeed.
And I guess it's actually worth mentioning that these two were the finalists of Hidden Cup 4, and Liereyy had a very decisive win in that series, but maybe JorDan's going to try and go for some revenge here.
Say what now? Come again?
JorDan going for some revenge for Hidden Cup 4?
Who were the finalists in Hidden Cup 4?
Oh, JorDan and Hera. My bad.
Yeah.
Same thing.
He's going for revenge against Hera on Liereyy. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, you know.
Either way, this is how you play Flemish Revolution. JorDan was definitely watching our cast, no question about it. And he now knows he just needs the bomber cannons. And then this is how I predicted this should have played out with Tado as well, right? If the bomber cannons and siege was there, like Yo wouldn't even have the range to snipe bomber cannons with his own units. So this is how you make the most out of this tech. That was very well executed by JorDan. But at the same time, I feel like Liereyy just went like, here you go, JorDan, do what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. It just feels weird to just say, to just let your opponent do exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's very rarely a winning strategy.
Yeah. All right. We have a series at our hands, as you said, and we're going to go into game 3, which will be Lierey's home map. I'm not sure if the map has been selected yet. But the options are Atacama and Redeside Fortress.
Two very different maps. I always, like, against almost everybody, I would favor Liereyy on a map like Atacama that's just so open and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas RF, much more standard macro, and those are the sorts of things that, I feel like JorDan would do better on.
Yeah. But I would say JorDan has the better Civ for Atacama. I think Lithuanian should be better than Japanese. But then again, Doubt had Lithuanians yesterday against Liereyy as well. And Doubt got absolutely spanked by the Liereyy Japanese. So both are really good civs, but in the end, I think that Lithuanians should be better.
Yeah. Well, they are just going for that early dock is so powerful.
Yeah, I will be right back quickly, only since we're having some connection issues apparently. I'll try to restart Discord. I had the same with Memp. Like I hear you completely fine, and I don't have any issues on my end.
Yeah, it's strange.
But once I restarted Discord and Memp restarted, it was completely fine again. So let's try.
Okay, I'll do the same.
By the way, guys, keep in mind that Taro, for example, is not done playing yet. Taro will be playing in the third place match after joining his Liereyy, against whoever loses. So it's a best of 3 for the third place as well, where they'll compete for. I think there's a sizable difference. I think it's like $600-700 difference in the price from third to fourth as well. So, hello, Orner.
Hello. Again.
Maybe we should switch region to US East even on Discord. Let's try.
Yeah. Central.
Test
right
mic,
now.
mic check.
Check.
Sounds fine to me.
Yep. Same.
Let's just stay here. So we have Fortress confirmed as the next map. What civs are we anticipating here?
Is JorDan going to go for the YOLO Goth pick, I guess? That's my big question.
Yeah, but then again, if it that's the issue now though is like if Liereyy just be like, I don't care if it's Goth. Chinese is still such a good civ. He can still win with Chinese. And then Liereyy goes Chinese. And then JorDan was like, nah, he probably might go Vikings. And then JorDan picks another civ. And then, oh shit, he's Chinese. So I feel like JorDan might be locked in the position where he kind of has to just go for Goth and hope for the best. While Liereyy, I guess if Liereyy goes Vikings, that's not really an end of the world for him either way. Unless it's against Turks, that could be difficult. But yeah, it's like Goth against Chinese is not a civ win for Goth by any means. Chinese is probably favored in my opinion still. But Vikings against Goth is a civ win for Vikings.
Yes.
So that's
I also think that if Liereyy goes Teutons for whatever reason, I don't think he will, but there's still that possibility that that's also a civ win for Teutons.
Teutons? Is that how it's pronounced?
In English, yes. Teutons.
Teutons. I would say Teutons. Teutons.
We don't call them the Teutonic Knights. We call them the Teutonic Knights.
Teutonic Knights.
Well, maybe we call them the Teutonic Knights. I just don't.
I don't even know anymore. Let's hope no one picks Teutons for the rest of the Age of Empires history, and we should be good. Don't think the game has started yet, right? Oh, players have requested just a few minutes. Okay. Then only I will take just a few minutes as well to talk a bit to my peeps and shout out some stuff.
Go for it.
So
I
I'll
will do the
catch you
same.
in a few minutes. Teutons. Let me try to go over some. It's been a shit ton of subs and everything. Do I even dare to go over it? Let's do a rap god. Yeah. 3 minutes from Jordan. He's back now. Okay. Symbol Sabi. Thanks for 5. Scoffer. Tsunami Stream. Aswath. Staisich. Lucia Set. Bratton Archer. Philip. Toe Pingu. The Ponerer. Viva Swan. Non-Toxic Adult. Bot Marley. Grimshaw. Greatest username ever. Namwa. Numba Faux. Raise Gurum. Hellscream. Thadok. Costelsi. Thank you guys for all the subs and the love. Ron Zoko gifting 5 subs. Thank you very much. Axelroth. Colin. Highway. Kai. Veg Patrol. Where's the Pickle? Thank you guys for the subs. Tsunami Stream with another bits. Oh my lord. Finch. Westrom. Kahuni. Kanuni. Iridy Gaming. NC Rooks. Nancy Crow. Kostak. Thanks for all the subs, guys. Kostak with €5. I wanted to show support. You're a rare type of streamer. You're talented and you have a good set of morals, which make you someone people should look up to. One of the good guys that don't gain viewership from much controversy. Keep it up, man. Much love. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Jimmy Fry, Take the Blue Pill, Z-Shan, Nick's Art, Tsunami Stream with a sub as well on top of all the bits. Thank you guys all for the prime subs and subs. Danda with the €21.24 donation. Thanks for hosting a wonderful tournament. You're welcome. Glad you enjoy it. Seifaden, thank you for the prime. Hacklastic, Josh and Bosch and Heisenberg, thank you guys for all the love. All right, we're back into the game. I assume Orn is into the game as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty into Age of Empires.
Oh yeah, okay,
Good game.
Nice. Yeah. So we had the mind game, and I guess we can say that Jordan won the mind game in quotes. Question mark?
Maybe.
Yet to be
so
seen.
yeah, I'd actually be really interested to hear your thoughts on why you think that Chinese are still favored against Goths.
So you have the early economy lead no matter what, and which means you should transition to a really fast Imperial Age instead of Goth. And okay, so first of all, Goth have a few different ways of playing this. You could go for like a 4 or 5 TC boom, big power play, get to imp and try to spam. You can also go for the big castle age play, which is quite normal with Goth these days because you already have a castle in Regicide Fortress, so you can just research. What's it called again? That you can produce Huskulls from barracks.
Anarchy.
Anarchy. You can research Anarchy in the castle age, drop a couple of barracks, and then Huskulls kind of dominate, for example, Chukonus or any types of range units. And also you get a lot of potential for raiding with Huskulls in the castle age. Now, I think the advantage Chinese has in the economy just puts you so far ahead. It's not the same, but it's somewhat similar to why I think Chinese are better on Arabia. Arabia is obviously more open and a little bit different, but still. I feel like you still have the time to get into the wanted army composition and you're able to put the pressure early enough to the point where Goth don't get up and running, to the point where Goth can just overwhelm you. And with Chinese, you could even play, they don't have supplies, but you could even play like Champion Chukunu, and that's a fantastic composition against the Goth.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. I still feel like you're always going to be on that clock as Chinese, and yeah, you have that nice window that you're almost certainly going to get, but it's still just that one window. It's like your one shot, man. Because I feel like even with, supply list otherwise fully upgraded champions, Goths are just going to, smash you in the face in late game.
Yeah, another thing worth pointing out, though, is how you compete for the relic. Like, Chinese, I think you should go up, like, maybe market stable to the castle age, and then, like, make scout or knight to try and compete for relics, because you kind of need those relics to really secure a long-term winning position. Because if Goth gets, like, 4 relics and they survive early imp, then you're in big trouble, I do agree. And, of course, even though I think Chinese probably is still slightly better, there's a ton of potential for Goth to actually win a game of Registered Fortress against Chinese, because that household spam is just so hard to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we do have Feudal Age coming in a little bit faster for Liereyy. And he's already mining stone, and there is the market. Is it going to be for the stable, or is it going to be for the blacksmith?
He goes for the blacksmith, so no stable for Liereyy, which means that if Liereyy wants to compete for relics, he will have to make Chukunu. Or he could just rely on his scout that he has alive at the moment. Well, JorDan could easily just make a couple of Huskarls if he wants to compete for the relics, and they will be better than the Chukunu in the end anyway, so...
Yeah. Although Chukunu are certainly better than the average archer against Huskarls, like, it's still really bad.
Yeah.
Just for the people who are watching the stream and might not know the dynamic, it's still a really rough matchup for the Chukunu.
Yeah, I think like when Chukun is at full upgrade though, you have what, 12 attack, you fire extra arrows.
You have a 14 base attack.
14, 8 plus 6, true. 14 base attack and the extra arrows. You do trade quite nicely against Huskarls if you have a meat shield. But you need a meat shield to not get snowballed. And that's why I'm saying that even though you don't have supplies, you can probably justify going champion with Chinese because you're lead. And then if you get 34 Chukunus behind that, you should never take a bad fight against the Goth. But yeah, exactly. It's not easy to get there, so it's definitely not problematic.
It's still an interesting matchup for sure. Also, again, I'd like to point out that Liereyy picking Regicide Fortress as his home map, not normally something that I feel like Liereyy would go for. And channeling his inner doubt, just absorbing the power of doubt.
It was his second pick though, right? So there could be some mind games here with JorDan picking Arena and Hideout. And then Liereyy picked Atacama and Fortress, right? So Liereyy was seed B, meaning he got 2 picks after the first pick. So I think it could have been with the idea that if JorDan takes something else than Chinese, Liereyy will get, for example, Lithuanians +1. And if JorDan takes something specific for Arena, for example, then Liereyy could just pick Chinese +1. And he probably felt comfortable with that. There could be some mind games, or it could just be that he thought that Fortress is a good map to play against JorDan.
That is all possible. Ooh. But now we have arrived in Castle Age. Second TC coming in right away here for Liereyy. JorDan with 190 stone in the bank. He is also going to be going for some extra town centers. Again, guys, on Regicide Fortress, you start with 500 food, 500 wood, 0 gold, and 150 stone. So you do need to mine that extra 50 stone if you want to drop extra town centers.
It's interesting how Liereyy goes for the monastery still. So he wants to pick up those relics with minimal investment. And it's also interesting how Lierey's king is still out on the map. JorDan could win the game here and now if Lierey's king... if Lierey's king goes with the walls and JorDan sees it?
Oh my god.
Okay, Lierey's king is going back. Okay. Trust me. If I see that king going there, I'm sending Vils to make gates immediately. There's no question about it.
Still, one of the most memorable moments in AoE that I've ever seen is one of the escape events where you were playing against MBL on Water Nomad. And you trapped in his king with one of your starting Vils and killed him in like a minute. Yeah,
that was... Oh, JorDan's going to run straight into the Monk of Liereyy. JorDan with a fantastic start. And Liereyy even converting. I think Liereyy should have just... Because the scout was just passing. So I think Liereyy maybe should have just hoped and prayed that JorDan actually didn't see it. But yeah, now JorDan off to a great start here. Picking off the first Monk. And there was also another game in... I don't remember which tournament it was, but it was Alive against... Could it have been Doubt even? But I think Alive walled in Doubt's king in the right corner. Because Alive was out there prolonging his walls with houses and market and blacksmith and whatnot. And Doubt's king passed and went into the right corner. And Alive just trapped the king with walls. And Doubt lost the king in the feudal age. And Doubt was not happy because he found that's not how Fortress is supposed to be decided.
Oh, yeah. Who would think that on a game mode called Regicide, that killing the king would be a relevant factor?
Yeah. But the king is not supposed to die by just being walled and dying to a feud later scout.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Oh, JorDan diving on the Monk. He's committing. I wonder if he will try to get the other Monk as well, or just kill and get out of there. Will the conversion come in? Conversion does not come in. And now JorDan can go back. JorDan can go back. The Monk picked up the relic again, but yeah, JorDan probably will just... He's actually committing.
I think he gets it.
I'm not sure the tower is there as well. I don't think he gets it. He has to get out of there, but the conversion might happen. Yeah, conversion comes in. And yeah, that's not how JorDan wanted that to play out. But yeah, look at the village count. The third TC for JorDan was actually faster than Liereyy, so it's only 3 villages difference. And JorDan didn't do a monastery yet. So relics, moments. Looks like Liereyy might be able to pick up a couple of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, right now it's Liereyy can just go out and about without any scout cavalry. The monks can easily convert to Huskarl, as they don't have the conversion resistance and are much slower. And it's kind of like the reverse of the last game.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't go that well when you ignore the relics, usually. And JorDan just giving up 5 relics to a Chinese player is kind of putting JorDan again on a timer that he has to win while he has gold. JorDan going for a 4th TC now as well. He's going to buy 100 stone and drop a TC on the wood on the bottom. But if I'm not mistaken, the terrain there makes it so JorDan cannot drop a TC there. You will have to drop it. Okay, he drops it. It's okay. Well, you can make a lumber camp.
Personally, I'd find that TC location to be rather unbearable.
Yeah. I can see why.
Yeah.
Still no monastery for JorDan, so he's not thinking about the relics yet. And yeah, he's making some more Huskarls now, so he might be considering committing on some monks and whatnot, but they're now adding a 4th TC as well, and economies should be very similar. And I guess we're heading towards an Imperial Age fight where JorDan is not probably not gonna be quite or behind at all, even in villager counts.
Yeah, it's I feel like that's good for JorDan. If the economies are fairly similar, then that's one of the big advantages Chinese are going to have over Goths is just that economy. So if you can negate that, then that's obviously going to be super good for Goths.
Yeah, JorDan now with the 2 Huskarls on the right side. Liereyy kind of baiting that towards his monk. He's going to bring in the other monks before he decides to finally commit. But yeah, those 2 Huskarls is not going to do anything or are not going to accomplish anything. JorDan, 2 villages going forward. It's probably the worst timing it could have been because the monks move towards that relic might actually spot him. And JorDan did pick off 1 relic, 1 monk with the Huskarl, but now it will get converted unless he deletes it. Actually gets away, and JorDan now building barracks in vision of Liereyy. Really unfortunate for JorDan. I feel like this, considering where the relic position is, I feel like this was obvious as well. That JorDan should not be building barracks right in the path of that relic.
I also just want to point out to sort of quantify the economic advantage of Liereyy. He has around 1,000 more resources gathered. So at this point, it's around 10% more economy, like resources collected over the course of the game compared to JorDan.
JorDan picks off 4 monks here, actually. And he gets the barracks up, and his Huskarl numbers are in now. That was a very good... It looked bad, but it actually played out pretty well for JorDan. Liereyy also didn't get the 5th relic, so that's a small win as well, I guess. But JorDan now getting those barracks up, and Liereyy is thinking about Imperial Age, but his gold income is not there yet. And JorDan, wonder if he will commit heavy now on the Huskarls, or if he will just stop and go Imp, and then focus. I think he could even stop here and just go Imp.
I guess the thing is, Liereyy still has, walls, and I don't really see JorDan able to push the walls. I mean, you need to get a ton of siege units and stuff, but I feel like by that time, Lierey's going to be really close to Imperial Age, and they'll have some Chukonu and stuff like that. Like, you can't even go Rams, because Chukonu will just shred those.
Or just make a petard or 2 with an already existing castle.
Yeah, you could, but I don't know, I still feel like that's... If there's any Chukonu around, which there are.
So, good thing for JorDan right now is map control. He has that 100%. And he has an army that will buy him the time to get to Imperial Age himself. He has stopped producing Huskarls as well, so I like that. Hankard is on the way. And he's setting up the big farm economy. And as soon as he hits Imp, he's getting the 5th relic now as well, by the way, so 1 relic for JorDan. But yeah, JorDan just taking the map control, and he will be ready to transition and make the counter unit to whatever Liereyy is making. Liereyy is going for the champion play. Again, Chinese don't get supplies, so the champions will be 15 food more expensive compared to other civs. But still, second castle as well. And I mean, it feels a bit awkward for Liereyy, right? Because he's making all the barracks are inside his base. It doesn't feel like you're progressing on the map in any way.
Yeah,
But at the same
I love
time,
how JorDan is like surrounding Lierey's base
Yeah.
with all these outposts and even building some barracks and stuff like that. Just really starting to, tighten the noose around his opponent. But I just want to point out that you probably didn't see any of the games from the Doubt Liereyy series yesterday because you were playing at the same time. But in that, it was Franks versus Aztecs on Arabia, and Liereyy just went for like 60 plus Castle Age longswordsmen against Eagle Warriors. And Eagle Warriors, Huskarls, similar units. So Lierey's not a guy who's going to shy away from making all of the swordsmen in the world.
Yeah. But Franks have supplies, if I'm not mistaken, so
Yes, they do.
makes a little bit more sense with them. But yeah, still.
Also, Doubt never added TCs for some reason.
Okay. So JorDan now sees that longsword, so he knows that this is actually... JorDan didn't even do the anarchy. He made those barracks, but never produced Huskarls from them. So JorDan sees the longsword now, so JorDan would have to probably go for a longsword Huskarl mix himself. Liereyy taking a very nice position with the castle in the center. And I feel like JorDan is making the barracks too far forward right now. I think they should have been not like that far forward, because then it's something Liereyy can just sit up on. But still, I kind of like JorDan's position. He just has to make sure he doesn't take any damage now, which I don't think he will. And yeah, the way he has spread out, I would love to see the left villager go all the way to the top and build some barracks where the Huskarls are. So it just is ready to raid wherever Liereyy is expanding.
Yeah, I really like that idea as well. All the upgrades in the world coming in for Liereyy. Chinese tech discount, just so nice, and teching into multiple directions at the same time. And the nice thing with going for the swordsman play is, well, swordsmen are good against buildings, so it's going to punish JorDan for these forward barracks, like you were saying.
He's making some more now, more towards the back though. And I mean, Liereyy doesn't have too many yet. I don't think Liereyy did arson yet either, so still will take some time. But JorDan currently seems to be committing on a mix of longswords and Huskarls, which is probably the right choice considering there are Chukunu in the mix. However, the Chukunu are not elite, nor do they have even bracer and chemistry, so even going full longswords or full champion here might be good for JorDan.
Yep, especially since Chinese don't have supplies, you can just, go your own champions against the Chinese champions and know that you are going to be more cost efficient and, they're going to turn out faster.
Yeah, JorDan really needs to try and make sure he gets the perfusion upgrade again. It's quite expensive though. It's like 400 wood, 600 gold. So, but he has over 1,000 wood in the bank. He could easily sell almost 1,000 of that and probably afford it. And that's kind of what's going to give him the reinforcement power, where he can just throw unit after unit into the fight and reinforce so fast.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of the best unique techs in the entire game. But, your worries about the forward barracks are kind of coming true, especially without perfusion. You just need time to get these units out and running, especially with Goths. They're such a momentum-based civilization. If you're behind, it's going to be so hard to come back. Your defenses are terrible, and if you don't have the barracks to churn out infantry, then you're just never going to really come online. And right now we're looking at 61 army for Liereyy versus only the 29 for JorDan.
Yeah, JorDan is doing perfusion now, and that's going to be very nice for him to start kicking in that. But JorDan may have overboomed here as well. He has 140 villagers, which obviously Goth can have temporary population extra compared to other civilizations, so that is nice. But still, he's not got champion yet. Liereyy has champion. Liereyy has Liereyy is lacking quite a lot of upgrades on his champion. JorDan now rushing up a castle as well. Very likely will call that castle by another name of another player very soon, with the Chukunu coming in and champion as well. Maybe JorDan right now, counterattack through the center could be good. Try and pick up those trebs and then just use perfusion reinforcements to deal with the army on the bottom.
Yeah, perfusion also nicely going to speed up the research of the champion upgrade, which is nice if he's trying to take a fight very shortly, but actually he doesn't even have many swordsmen here at the fight itself. And yeah, like JorDan's prepping these barracks on each side of his opponent's base, but how useful is that if you're just getting wrecked at the front?
Yeah. Well, if you can snipe the trebs, that will be a small thing, but I don't know what JorDan is doing now with the Huskarls. Trying to go for the Chukunu, that's a very strange decision. I feel like the best choice there would have been just simply try and get the trebs out of the way and then play from there. But yeah, JorDan with the barracks on the left side, with the barracks still on the right side. Liereyy knows about it though, so that's one thing. But yeah, JorDan is fine, but look at his villager count. He has 153 and still 7 in the queue. I think he's overbooming quite a bit here, which means his army is not going to be big enough.
Yeah, and those numbers are just so important with Gauss, right? It's all about, you know, having those numbers over your opponent, not a very population efficient, but a very cost efficient army. And right now, if you look at the army value difference, it's quite significant. It's over 3 times the more valuable army here for Liereyy.
Yeah, so Lierey's army in value in terms of gold, 7,300. JorDan only on 2,400. And Liereyy now with a great castle on the hill. Keep in mind, Liereyy also has 4 relics. He's banking resources right now. JorDan is yet to be... he's maxed out now. So he's getting there. He's lacking 1 more upgrade. And he's kind of ready to do the spam now. But he kind of needs to figure out how to engage this properly. Because Liereyy is really well set up so far. But still, those barracks that are spread out on the map might make it really hard for Liereyy to get on top of extra golds on the sides and extra stones on the sides as the game goes on. Oh, you know what? Lierey's king is on the tower on the left side, by the way.
That's true.
That could have been a really interesting... If JorDan spots that, that could have been a really interesting way for him to try and do a quick victory. Okay, that's champion in that tower.
Yeah. I do appreciate that Liereyy is not underestimating or, you know, underreacting to the forward barracks. Like, he's sending plenty of champions out to make sure that he nips that threat in the bud before it becomes something he can't deal with, because his army is very slow. It's archers and infantry. And he just wants to make sure that he can sustain this forward push, which he's able to do pretty comfortably. And yeah, JorDan's in a really rough spot. His main base is about to get eviscerated.
Yeah, he's still maxed out though, and the question you would ask yourself, is it possibly worth it for JorDan to do Elite Huskarl? Oh, he already has Elite Huskarl.
He already did. Both players got their Elite upgrades at the same time, actually.
I think this is a big mistake by Liereyy. He's splitting his army, meaning JorDan can take a really cost-effective trade on the frontal army. And even if JorDan loses 10, 15 vills to these champions, that's fine. He already overboomed, so he kind of can afford that. And now this could easily snowball in favor of JorDan.
Yeah, definitely. Liereyy coming in with a bunch of champions on the right side, though. And Liereyy about to grab Blast Furnace. He already has +4 defense. JorDan still only with +2/+2, so he's going to want to grab Blast Furnace whenever he has the chance. And, well, JorDan is losing a lot of economy. He's lost 53 villagers this game. Yes, he did overboom, but this is kind of unfortunate for him right now.
Yeah, but as long as he can hold the bottom side where he has those 2 golds, he can always produce units. He just needs to, I think he needs to really channel the focus on where the trebuchets of Liereyy are. Those 3 trebs. If JorDan can get that position back, that just frees his, the rest of his... Like, if the right side gets freed from the pressure, then JorDan can easily deal with the pressure everywhere else as well. Like, population, he's still ahead in population. He's doing a nice raid on top side as well, keeping Liereyy off those resources. And even though Liereyy still has plenty of resource income from the right side, as long as... Like, I feel like JorDan has a good chance to win this game, but I feel like he has to clean up and, like, get a strong hold on either the right side or... Yeah, on the right side pretty much, because that's where his gold income is.
Yeah, exactly. But losing the castle is not a great way to start that. Still, with all of these barracks, I mean, there's like 7 barracks right here. You can create plenty of units to swarm this smaller army here from Liereyy, but it's still not quite able to do that. And these Chukunu are just free-firing on all of these units of JorDan, and he's just not forcing the engagement like he needs to.
Yeah, JorDan also missing the last attack upgrade for now, and I mean, if JorDan now could just take the fight, clean up the champion, and then you just switch to full Huskarl spam. There are not enough barracks from Liereyy on the front, so Liereyy would not be able to reinforce in time. So that could be a start of a snowball from JorDan, and then JorDan could even take down the castle with just infantry. But Liereyy now come with a big swarm of champions on the left side as well. And JorDan, again, maybe struggling a little bit with dealing with both sides at the same time, and I feel like he just at some point has to commit, but his economy is struggling right now. He doesn't have the resources, he's not maxed out anymore. And the spam has kind of stopped out because he doesn't have the food economy to sustain the effective trades that Liereyy are taking right now.
He's doing all right at the front of his base finally, where the Chukunu and the Trebs are, but on the left side, you know, he's getting completely overrun by champions of Liereyy. They're trying to build a castle on this very, you know, strategic hill. There are a couple champions here from JorDan, so that might be delayed for a little while. But, I mean, JorDan's still just losing so much. JorDan has lost 84 villagers this game. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where JorDan went wrong. I think he just got pulled apart by Liereyy. Yeah. Maybe JorDan trying to spread out everywhere too early maybe made him like lose a little bit of grip of how to deal with the front. Something like that. But yeah, now Liereyy just taking a commanding position. JorDan is down to 1/3 population. Liereyy 174, and JorDan is struggling to keep up the production. And Liereyy looks like he will get the castle up on the left side as well, and that's taking out the last remaining gold JorDan has, and JorDan is on his last limbs. Last thing JorDan could try would be a king snipe potentially, but even that looks quite difficult to pull off right now as Liereyy just keeps going in.
Yeah, Liereyy just doing a beautiful job of attacking at... Like, Liereyy was able to attack at multiple fronts, but also critically had that big push down the middle that JorDan just really struggled to deal with.
Oh!
It kind of started with all of those forward barracks.
Doubt! Doubt is here!
Oh my goodness.
99.22%! Doubt made it to the semifinals, guys, in the end.
I told you, Viper. Liereyy is just channeling doubt.
True.
He picked RF. He went for straight boom on arena. Oh my goodness.
Oh, JorDan though. Okay. Yeah, very well played by Liereyy. Now the light cavalry has begun as well, and yeah, Liereyy just shows how Chinese can deal with the Goth. Now I do think JorDan misplayed on certain parts, just not getting like building the barracks too far forward. The initial he lost 4 barracks before like even getting into production, and things like that do slow it down. I also think his farm, I think the backside of his base should have been deleted, all the stone walls, and just like planted another 30 farms along the edge of the map. And then you have the space on the front for barracks, and you can try to make the spam happen. It's funny how JorDan, like what Goth usually shines at is if there is like some Huskarls there, some champion there, some champion there, but that's actually what JorDan struggled the most with right now, was dealing with the small raids on the sides and at the same time being pushed through the center. Very well executed by Liereyy.
The total military units created for both players is pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
The resources gathered is almost dead even, and the difference just came in the massive KD advantage for Liereyy, who also had the more expensive, better upgraded army. And like you're saying, it's about how Liereyy was able to pull apart his opponent in the way that Goths themselves are normally good at. But it's just, perhaps it's just the difference in strengths between Liereyy and JorDan in terms of what they individually excel at.
Yeah, like I think everything up to until Imperial Age was pretty good by JorDan. Like he was in a position where I think he would have wanted to be. It was just that transition in the early imp, doing the right thing in the early imp, which is kind of where I would probably say just didn't manage to get that transition smoothly enough. And Liereyy obviously punished that super hard, and Liereyy takes the lead 2-1. JorDan will have to win the 2 next games if he's going to have a chance to advance to the final.
Yep. But we will have the
clown
final
map.
home map.
Another clown map.
It's hideout.
So, considering that Liereyy has used both Chinese and Britons, I think the only possible option... Wait. So JorDan will most likely go Malay here, although Turks is a really good save here too. Question is if Liereyy... Both Malay and Turks have bomber cannon. Teutons struggle against bomber cannon. I feel like Liereyy might just play Vikings here.
I guess Vikings, Malay, Vikings, Turks. I don't hate it. I still feel like Teutons are probably safe.
Teutons. I mean, they are like a go-to hideout civ, but the reason Teutons became popular on hideout is because they hard countered Khmer, and Khmer was super popular on hideout. But against Britons with the range of longbows, against bomber cannons, Teutons aren't that strong anymore.
I think Teutons versus Malay is certainly something you can make work, just because you have, neither player really has an advantage when it comes to bombard cannons, and then everything else that Teutons do can just kind of flatten Malay. Turks are going to be a bit of a different story.
Wait, what now? How does everything Teutons do flatten Malay?
Because you have bombard cannons of your own, you have siege onagers, you have your own infantry that kills their infantry.
Onagers don't work because of bomber cannons, first of all. Arbalists kill infantry. Halberdiers kill paladin. And Malay have a better economy.
I don't know, man.
Want to
Feel
try?
like you
1v1?
Sure, man. Let me just train up a little bit.
Give you a few
Just
years.
give me a few decades.
Maybe when, well, the lefty. We can try with the lefty. Maybe you have a chance.
Yeah, but I'm in a wrist brace myself right now.
Oh yeah, true. How's it going by the way with that?
It's going fine. It's going
Feels
fine.
good.
Yeah, it's getting better by the day.
Okay, good. All right, hideout it is, and we can see civilizations. It is as I predicted. Liereyy goes for the Vikings, and JorDan. I didn't predict him going for Turks, but he goes for Turks. Thoughts?
It's definitely interesting. This is a matchup that it feels like kind of like Chinese versus Goths in that Vikings have a pretty nice window to make something happen, but they really need to make something happen in that window, otherwise they're going to be super sad.
Yeah. So one of the historically issues for Turks have been siege ram, halberdier, and Vikings have siege ram. They don't have halberdier, but they do have kind of pikemen on steroids. So
And they have the next best thing.
yeah, so that still does the trick for the most part. And Vikings have berserks, which are an incredibly strong unit, but hard to get to and very expensive. So, what do Turks have now? They have Hussar for free with extra pierced armor, which they will translate into an amazing late game, combined with heavy cavalry archers with extra HP and bomber cannons with extra range. And usually that at this point, those tools may be enough to deal with the siege ram, the scary siege ram pushes that happen. So I must say, I kind of like JorDan's civilization here.
Yeah, I kind of prefer the Civ that doesn't have all of the pressure of having to make a timing happen. And like you can never underestimate Viking eco, right? I mean, just having the super fast timing, but it's also very predictable. I mean, Vikings don't have a ton of options.
Yeah.
And the fact that Turks have bombard cannons, especially versus no bombard cannons, talking about Teutons versus Malay or whatever, bombard cannons are just such an important unit on these closed maps, and they can just poke away at anything Vikings do, except I guess the berserks. But if you are with castles and stuff, yeah, good.
Yeah, indeed. So, but there is an interesting factor here to take into account. Liereyy, the way he has played hideout historically, has not been the let's boom to Imperial Age, take small fights for relics. He has usually made archers, crossbows, maybe gone forward, and applied pressure. He doesn't normally play the standard arena style hideout that is kind of normal these days. So I'm curious whether Liereyy will do something similar this time, aka well, he has 4 on wood, so I don't think it will be any fuel edge pressure, but I would not be surprised to see him go crossbow instead of adding a stable. While JorDan...
That does seem very Liereyy, right?
Yeah.
Just try and make early mid-game archers whenever possible.
Oh, JorDan, close the gate! No, don't let him out! Okay, good.
Open the gate! Close the gate!
Yeah, for Turks, it's very natural to just play the stable opening because you get that light cav upgrade for free, and you have plus 1 pierce armor on the light cav. So maybe crossbow with that in mind would be quite, I guess, stupid from Liereyy, potentially. JorDan, close the gate! Okay, good. Sorry, that's all I'm going to watch the rest of Dark Age to see if JorDan lets that Ibex out.
Well,
yeah. Vikings obviously have a way better economy, but Turks have some small... JorDan! Close the gate! JorDan! No! JorDan!
JorDan!
No! JorDan.
Viper, JorDan closed the gate.
He did, but... either way, Turks have the military advantage in early Castle Age with that light cav, so Relic should be kind of easier for Turks to get to, but looking at the Relic spawn, very much in favor of Liereyy here, especially like they both kind of have 2 relics close to them, but even then, JorDan's relics are quite far, and the 3rd relic that is the most in between the 2 of them is still heavily in favor of Liereyy.
Yeah, that's something that JorDan isn't going to be as happy about, but yeah, if Liereyy tries to open scouts, he's just going to really struggle because Viking Cav is rather potato, and then if he tries to open crossbowmen, then even the light cav of JorDan could have a nice shot against that. So I'm curious as to what exactly he's going to go for. Going over to gold right now, and it's going to be going up on 25 pop. So this just seems like a very standard fast castle sort of thing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
JorDan? I wasn't sure what you were talking about, and then I looked at JorDan's base, and then I knew.
JorDan is not going meta. JorDan is on stone. Only with 2 villages so far, though. But Janissaries might... No, his uptime is too fast. I think this is just stone for being safe against forward, honestly, at this point. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a full 1 TC Janissary play. But I feel like his uptime is too fast. And now he's doing a barracks, yeah. JorDan, what is this? Please tell me what this is.
Is this the... I guess it's 27 pop, but the strategy where you go for the forward castle with the light cav as Turks. Like, I see it on Arena. It's like super all in.
It's possible. Do I like it? Question mark. Not really, but that actually now another village on stone. That seems to be exactly what it is. Questionable. I'm not sure, but then again,
this is his tournament life on the line.
Yeah. Oh, Liereyy going market blacksmith. You know what? Going something like this for JorDan now could be really powerful if Liereyy is just straight up trying to boom.
Yeah, if he's just going to try and do what he did on Arena, more or less, and just, you know, go for the boom, try and get a good Imperial Age time, go for archers and all that stuff. This sort of stuff is really scary.
Absolutely.
I don't think I have ever beaten this on Arena.
Stable blacksmith.
Yep.
4 on stone. This is exactly what it is. So what the fallout for JorDan here will be, he will go to the castle age, he'll put way more vills on stone, and he's going to send probably 6-7 vills forward with 1 or 2 scouts accompanying it. And then he will drop a castle right on Lierey's base. And issue for JorDan is, wait, he hasn't scouted anything yet, right? So he doesn't know exactly where Liereyy is. But if he goes on the left side, sure, he can put a lot of pressure on Lierey's base, but the issue is that Liereyy has 2 golds and 1 stone if he goes all the way back, like outside of his base. So he still has plenty of resources to expand to, but Janissaries, one of the strongest units in the castle age with 8 range, combined up with mangonels as well, and that composition is just absolutely deadly. And
it's just really hard to deal with, especially if you're a Civ that doesn't have good monks, which Vikings do not have good monks. I feel like it's a very risky play from JorDan, right? But it could work.
Risky is not risky is yes, it is very risky. But I don't like JorDan still hasn't sent villages forward. He's very close to castlage now. At this point, he should already send 4 or 5 vills forward. Yeah. So the time is he gonna? Please don't tell me he does a defensive castle. Okay, there goes the villagers. 5 villagers.
Okay. This time is off though. The villagers aren't going to make it in time to be in castle age.
Although he doesn't have the stone yet, so I mean that is a little bit late considering that he's taking stone still only with 4 villagers. I guess it's okay. But yeah, timing is a bit off. And Liereyy going instantly for the double TC, and yeah, JorDan could potentially. I mean, it's really hard to stop Janissaries.
He's running into the forest.
Yeah. However, Liereyy is gonna have 10 villager lead, 20 villager lead very quickly, and he makes transition to maybe crossbow with ballistic. There is potential to hold, but then again, Janissaries can be crazy strong if they get going. And yeah, the timing for JorDan here is still very off, no question about it. But
yeah, man, like JorDan barely able to beat running earlier in the tournament, and I know running is somebody who does this exact strategy a lot. Like running would already have this castle up, man.
Yeah. Good thing for JorDan is that he's showing Liereyy a couple of light cav, so Liereyy might just be thinking still that this is. Oh, JorDan is even going all the way around. He wants to castle drop the TC on the outside. Wait, what does JorDan see here? He sees the gold in the base, he sees the gold outside the base. JorDan might be thinking about placing a castle kind of in between both of those to kind of be able to take both of them out at the same time. And that could be a great cast. I think that should have been more to the right to also have like... Oh, he replaces it. He thinks twice. But look at the timing now. We're already 17 minutes. The Bills are running around.
But does Liereyy have any idea that this is happening?
No idea. He thinks JorDan is playing normal here, collecting the relics, getting light cap to take the relics, and JorDan is not playing normal. What? Why is that castle, JorDan? Oh, he thinks
no,
again.
JorDan.
What is this?
Okay, you had the castle that was too far to the left, the castle that was too far
there.
to the right. Now we just need it to be just right.
Oh, now
Liereyy sees it.
Now Liereyy sees the Bills and he knows what's coming. JorDan going right on the top of that castle. It's an okay castle, but it's like coming so late, and
yeah.
You're like, I mean, then again, it's not too far away from the other gold of Liereyy, so yeah. But Liereyy now 10 bills ahead. He has handcart, he has bowsaw. He's now dropping a barracks, and JorDan doesn't have to worry about these bills. There's nothing Liereyy can do, and there's the first archery range. So, but still, the snowball potential with this type of push is insane. You get mangonels out on the field, combine them with Janissaries, then there is no army composition in the game that counters that type of play, except maybe mass knights. But then the Janissaries and mangonels have to come out into the open, which is very unlikely to happen. Liereyy, by the way, does not have loom still, so if he doesn't do that very soon, a lot of villagers could go down.
You're gonna want that one. 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend.
And JorDan has 5 light cav even, and he's going to be circling around on the left side as well to deny Liereyy from moving out to that gold. Liereyy has no gold income. Very soon.
Well, I was like, well, that's a gold mine right there. Okay, yeah.
JorDan, open the palisades.
Coming in.
Why is he shooting the TC? Open the palisades and go into the gold.
Yeah, or just run into his base. Just
Yeah.
do something.
I don't like the siege workshop either. It should be closer to the castle because I don't know why to leave it exposed like that. But yeah, either way, pressure is coming in. But yeah, the villager difference is now getting quite significant. Now in these types of games, I still kind of like to be the Turk player because there's just so much pressure on whoever is defending against this. But we all know Liereyy has fantastic micro. The crossbow is on the way. Fletching is already in. But yeah, once there are mangonels on top of the Janissaries as well, even crossbows and Liereyy micro might not be enough.
Yeah, it's just so tough when you're outranged and outgunned so hard, and already Liereyy losing a couple of villagers. I mean, he's ahead by 14, so losing a couple isn't the biggest of deals. But even so, if you're in low numbers of crossbowmen, just these random unupgraded light cav can just run in and kill, a couple crossbowmen, then you're just super dead. So this is just such a tough spot for Liereyy.
Yeah. And Liereyy doesn't have gold to keep the production of the crossbows for much longer. He has 2 more in production, but he doesn't have any more gold in the bank. And now the mangonel is out, and Liereyy cannot engage this anymore. First shot out almost gets a good hit, and also Liereyy doesn't have ballistic, so at this point it's like, how does Liereyy stop this? This is looking great for JorDan.
And like, I can emphasize, like, I die to this every single time. I want to see Liereyy figure out how to stop it, but yeah, I mean, JorDan almost has castle number 2 on the way. He's going to have +1 defense for his light cav.
Liereyy has to micro his hard out to come out of this ahead, and JorDan has to not make doubt micro happen, and then it's very... Oh, that's the first mistake from JorDan, going in too deep with the mangonel, I think, without the Janissaries being nearby, but he survives for now. There is a mangonel on the way for Liereyy. Liereyy is using a market to buy the gold he needs, and Liereyy also heavy on stone. He probably wants to build a castle of his own to secure a gold income, but keep in mind, JorDan has 700 stone already. Lierey's going for a TC on the outside. No, JorDan, that's the wrong castle right now. That castle should be...
In his face.
Yeah. But either way, still, that castle is still fine. It means that JorDan does not need to have army anymore to take out the gold of Liereyy on there. And then JorDan can switch the full focus to... He needs a shot. Oh, nice micro by Liereyy.
That is not what you're looking for.
Yeah, and JorDan does not have a follow-up mangonel. This is falling apart for JorDan. There's no follow-up mangonel. JorDan is... I'm not sure why JorDan did a blacksmith instead of a market here. Market would have helped so much in getting the right things here. Oh, it's falling apart for JorDan.
Like, look at JorDan's wood count. It's really high. I mean, you can't expect to have an amazingly balanced eco when you're going for a really heavy all-in like this, but the market can at least help fill the gap a bit.
The good thing for Liereyy is that since there is a siege workshop there, Liereyy didn't commit on the army of JorDan. So JorDan still has his numbers alive, and he's gonna get a mangonel out soon himself, and then he can start to think about pressuring the gold town center of Liereyy now. Still not impossible for JorDan by any means. Still looking fairly decent, I would say.
Well, a couple more light cav gonna go down, and once again, the castle is being stalled, not destroyed or anything.
JorDan just needs mangonel numbers. And the issue for JorDan right now is that Liereyy can also drop his own castle, and he's going to try to counter the castle of JorDan with his own.
And JorDan is semi-realizing that this is just not going to work. Tries to build...
Yeah. Big shots on the cross Janissaries of JorDan as well. With a
trying to build a forward stable. JorDan's building a second town center at home, which this is one of those builds that it's so all in that building a second town center is usually a bit of a white flag.
Yeah, that's to tell that, okay, I need to actually add eco behind this because this didn't work. And then you're kind of just backtracking from here. And now JorDan is trying to recover with a 25 villager deficit. I feel JorDan was in such a good position. Then he just kind of, the mangonel follow-up, like he made one mangonel and then it kind of stopped, right? There should have been 2 mangonels, 3 mangonels, and the 4 mangonels, and then there's no way for Liereyy to ever engage. Now, JorDan still has the range with the Janissaries, so he can still kind of outrange the mangonels and take them out. Oh, Liereyy almost shooting his own.
Danger close.
Indeed, but yeah, now Liereyy is looking at a fantastic spot. Look at the resources. Liereyy can even think about Imperial Age here. JorDan, my friend, I'm afraid you are going to be playing Tato in the 3rd place match very soon.
Well, that would indeed be the case. A little unfortunate for your team right there. Although you still got 4 players in the top 8, so I mean,
that's
you guys
not
still
good
did
enough.
Just fine. You guys did just fine.
No.
Supportive Orenlu.
Liereyy is on the way to Imp, and JorDan is on the way to be out and about of the tournament. JorDan is stonewalling the whole left side. So JorDan is going to try to buy time for late game, where he probably has a favorable civilization. Question at this point is there any chance for you to ever get into that type of game?
Yeah. And especially, Lierey's not the type of player to play overly defensive and sort of allow JorDan to claw his way back into the game. Liereyy is going to be a guy who, if he has an advantage, he's just going to reach out and punch you in the face. And I feel like that's exactly what we're going to see once Imp comes in.
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, this was a really good strategy by JorDan. Now, Liereyy react... Ooh, big shot, actually. Big shot on the crossbows.
Yeah.
It was a really good strategy by JorDan. Liereyy reacted quite well. But at the same time, if JorDan loses his game, I'm going to leave with the feeling that JorDan fluffed up his position rather than that Liereyy...
yeah. I would be curious to know how much JorDan has practiced and prepared that specific strategy.
This is probably the first time he's ever playing. Ooh.
That's not good. Unless you're Liereyy, then that's great.
2 for 1, yeah. JorDan might just call a GG upon Liereyy hitting an Imperial Age here. Would not surprise me. Liereyy now just gonna move out. He knows this arm, even killing 3 Janissaries with a Manga, which should never ever happen. And yeah, crossbow just moving across the map now. There's a big chance JorDan doesn't finish the wall in time. Although his light cap is there, so he will be warned. But the question will be if that villager will be in time to finish the stone wall anyway. And Liereyy hits Imperial Age, moving across the map, and JorDan... It is the potential last game for him with the chance to go to the final. So he will obviously still keep trying. All Liereyy needs to do really is make 1 petard. He's actually making a trebuchet, so... Honestly, that trebuchet should even go forward, not bother with the castle of JorDan.
Yeah. Like, this castle from JorDan, it's not doing anything. It's not really denying him any resources he needs in the short run. Onager coming in for Liereyy, flexing the fact that his Civ can cut, and JorDan's can't cut, except for trebuchets, because no Onagers for Turks.
Okay, then I think the Treb should just take out the castle if he's doing Onager, because, JorDan's about... I mean, obviously you cannot blame the guy. He's going to imp himself, and he's continuing to stonewall the sides with a second layer. But that's not where the problem is right now, Jordy. He's trying to stumble both sides. Yeah, the problem is about to come straight through his base and into his face. And yeah, if he had like 20 Hussar upon hitting Imperial Age, maybe, but he doesn't.
It's just it's not the way that this game has worked out. Unfortunate for JorDan, but still, again, you guys shouldn't be too hard on yourselves. Like, a semifinal for JorDan is really good.
For JorDan, yes, it's a good result. I'm sure he's happy with that. But we had 4 GL members in the top 8. We should have had 4 in the semifinals. We should have had 2 in the finals. And there we go. JorDan now surprise, I'm in your woodline. I'll just start cutting through, and JorDan will probably realize that that's it. That's all she wrote.
All your base
currently
belong to us, as Liereyy gets the W right there, and we'll be facing Mr. Yo in the grand finals in a little bit.
Indeed, congrats to Liereyy. Very well done. Again, I leave this game with a bit of a sour taste because I feel like JorDan was just in such a good position. But either way, very well defended by Liereyy and just using that Viking economy to even push the faster Imperial Age. And yeah, honestly, if JorDan was playing anyone but Liereyy here, there's a big chance some of his mangonels would have hit better and things like Lierey's just amazing at dodging the mangonel shots. And the bravery Liereyy enters these types of fights with is insane. And
yeah,
it has backfired quite a few times, but for most, I would say 75% of the times at least, it plays out like this, where Liereyy just gets the better trades. And congrats to him, he's in the final where he'll be facing Mr. Yo, which will be a banger of a set. And then we have JorDan against Tato, a little bit of a GL camaraderie fight here for a couple of hundred extra bucks, and for third place in the Open Classic. And that will be coming up soon. That's going to be just a best of 3. So it's sort of a quick best of 3 just to give Liereyy a little bit of a break before the final. And I will be joined by Ornler for that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, unless you're kicking me out.
Well, if you keep being like nice guy that, yeah, GL, that was a good performance of you guys, then might consider. But yeah. No, of course, 4 players in the top 8 is still a very good result. 50% of the players being GL members. Yeah. Half of the GL members being in the semifinal as well. It's still a good result, but obviously we would have liked to.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's not where our ambitions are, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Then I'm gonna have a quick break myself here, and we're gonna try to get JorDan and Tato ready as soon as possible. JorDan might also want a quick break here before he gets going, so we'll probably take 5 minutes at least, and then they're gonna do a quick draft. It's going to be the same draft as we had in the round of 128, round of 64, where they just pick 4 civs each and pick 1 home map each, and that's it.
Yep, sounds good. See you in a little bit.
Yeah, see you in a little bit.